Thank you for joining us for the Barbados Today afternoon news for Friday, January 19. I am Mary-Claire Williams. We continue to monitor the ongoing industrial action called by the National Union of Public Workers. The NUPW declared a two-day national shutdown, which began yesterday after government missed Monday's deadline to conclude salary negotiations. Barbados Today's Emmanuel Joseph has been assessing the impact on the second day of the protest.
It was business as usual at the Bridgetown port this morning. Immigration and customs were reported to be functioning normal when we checked, for example, at the customs at the port. Now, those on duty said there was no disruption from which we saw and what was reported to us. In fact, one customs staffer said, we quote, "What we going strike for if the government breaks, how we can get paid," unquote. Now, just yards away from the Barbados Port Authority, where the customs is, container trucks were flowing in and out at the north gate. The security on duty said it's business as usual, and this was backed up by a trucker. Now, the main gate of the port was bustling with visitors coming out and getting into taxis or walking, and the security there, he said, it was business as usual. Now, at the Treasury building, where the Treasury Department staff on the first floor, they were absent. Not one single person in the Treasury Department on the first floor, but we found that in the other sections of the building, how the Barbados Revenue Authority workers were occupying those sections, although there were fewer cashiers on duty at the BRA on the ground floor. Over on Wharf Road, where the Immigration Department is, officers were on duty, although not in full strength, according to the security there. At the National Conservation Commission, the 600-strong staff were also out in full strength. The acting general manager told that to us this morning. He said operations were going smoothly, just as yesterday. When we got to the Guyana International Airport and we asked the security guard on duty, she expressed surprise that there was even a strike on. In fact, but she did say that if it is that the Immigration Department officers will be on half day today, she says it's going to be real trouble at the airport this afternoon because of the sea-to-air arrangements. There's thousands of tourists will be leaving here at the Adams Airport, and she said the lines are going to be extremely long, and if there are no immigration officers here this afternoon, it's going to be a serious, serious thing.
Immigration officers stationed at the headquarters on Wharf Road in the city are making good on their threat to take industrial action to press for a move from the condemned facility. The officers have decided to begin working half-day for the next 6 weeks, beginning next week, to force the Frundle Stewart administration to expedite their relocation to the repurposed BTI car park on Princess Alice Highway. They are upset at the repeated delays in government's plans to move them, and the immigration officers last Friday threatened to take action to prove that they are fed up with their working environment. Following the announcement, government appealed to the officers to hold strain until March. However, the General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith, told Barbados Today that a combination of broken promises, the number of workers who have fallen ill as a result of the current environment, as well as a lack of progress on the new office, had become too much for the officers to bear. A St. Philip man had a lucky escape after he was attacked by a swarm of bees yesterday afternoon. Jude Barrow says he was stung up to 50 times, and he recounted his experience in an interview with Barbados Today.
I came up and work. I decided to clean the juice trap.
And then what happened?
I take the first step all over below here, right? To dump it. I went along. I said people bees come towards me. All I could do is put the left bucket in the same place and run straight to the shower. Before I get to the back, after my aunt come to rescue me and they turn upon her then, right?
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. The Guyana government used its majority in the National Assembly to defeat an opposition motion calling for a report on the Commission of Inquiry into the Guyana Sugar Corporation to be sent to the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Economic Services. Agriculture Minister Neil Holder told lawmakers the time for sending the report to the committee had long passed after opposition legislator Bishop Juan Edgil had presented the motion on behalf of the chairman of Economic Services. He said the COI report was laid in the National Assembly in December 2015, and he added that while the amalgamation of sugar estates for the purposes of efficiency should continue, it did not recommend the closure of estates at this time. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu has pointed to what he says was an opposition conspiracy to stall reforms in the sugar industry. According to him, passage of the motion to send the 2015 report to the committee would result in suspension of all efforts to save the industry, including 11,000 jobs. On the international scene, the U.S. Senate's bid to avert a government shutdown is on the brink of collapse as the midnight deadline approaches. The House of Representatives voted 230 to 197 last night for a bill to extend funding until next month, but the upper chamber is set for a nail-biting vote, with Republicans and Democrats still split on immigration. The main issue of contention is the Democrats' demands for more than 700,000 undocumented immigrants who entered the U.S. as children to be protected from deportation. In September, President Donald Trump announced he is ending the program and gave Congress a March deadline to come up with a replacement. The BBC spoke to one of the dreamers, as they're known, about their future.
To ensure that the laws of the United States.
Jimena Magana is a DACA recipient. I was with her as she watched U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions announce the end of the program protecting her and others from deportation.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to think that as a young adult, you've given a lot to a country and that you love a country so much and that you feel like you've earned something and they take that away from you.
When DACA was introduced, was there any other hesitation about applying?
When DACA came out, there was a fear of applying for a work permit. For a long time, you try to live low-key so that no one knows that you're undocumented. So having to apply for a paper that says to immigration, look at me, I'm right here, is definitely a fear. Right, but we gave the trust to the administration. It was really upsetting to hear that Trump was going to continue with his promises, and he made a promise that he was going to protect DACA recipients. He's obviously not following his promises.
What does America mean to you?
America is the only home that I've ever known. I was 9 years old when I was brought here. I mean, I've lived here all my childhood. And I lived here all my teenage years, and now my young adult life. This is the only culture that I know. If you think of like what an American would look like, this is what Americans look like, right? We're a melting pot. As someone that's contributed to the community, someone that cares for this country so much, I feel like it's something that I've earned, and it's something that many of us have earned.
And finally, there were shouts of joy at this school in Puerto Rico after electricity was restored 4 months after the passage of Hurricane Maria. The school was in the dark for 112 days after the storm hit, leaving most of the island without electricity. And that's news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Mary Claire Williams. Good afternoon.